Welcome to Your Town. I'm Chef Wendy Brodie with Art of Food, your culinary host, and my guest today is a Salinas Valley agricultural icon, somebody that I have gotten to know in the last couple of years, and I've never met a more passionate, wonderful man, and anything he grows I've loved using. I just admire he and your wife Marcia, and I promised you, you have so much information, I'm just going to let you run with that. Your passion, but maybe you might have to start out with your mantra.
Thank you, Wendy. Thank you for all those compliments. I don't think I deserve all that, but thank you for your kind words. And it's an honor and a pleasure to be here, and thank you for inviting me. So literally I can tell people about all the vegetables that we have, that we focus on. Our mantra is color, taste, and nutrition. And that's what we really focus on with the vegetables that we grow, pack, and ship.
And I think I forgot to mention the name of the company.
Well, that's all right.
I think this is really important. And you were so kind, as you said, your friends told you to name the company after you. No, you idolized your product. So it's Salad Savoy Corporation.
That is correct. That's the mother of our business. I developed Salad Savoy back in the 80s, and we were the first on the market with it in 1984, Salad Savoy. And since then we really changed our company name from more marketing and more farming to Salad Savoy Corporation. I wanted the buying trade, to recognize us for our vegetables and not for who I am, which isn't really important. What's important is the vegetables we have, and use that time to talk about the vegetables. Salad Savoy became an idea of mine back in the early 1980s, and we were involved in the international business. After being in the produce business, from graduating from college and working for a few other shippers in town, and part of that education was traveling abroad and getting customers mainly from industrial Europe. In the process of doing that, when I started my own company and I was focused on selling grapes and other vegetables, the normal lettuce and broccoli and cauliflower for grower packers, and I became their salesperson. But in travels, my eye caught two things, and one is the variance of different vegetables in Europe as compared to what we had at that time here in the United States as far as mass displays of new and different vegetables. One of them that stood out at that time was the cauliflower, and the multicolor cauliflower. And so that kind of opened up my eyes and what we wanted to do, and that was focus on color, taste, and nutrition. If it didn't have those three equations, we didn't want to get involved in growing. There are a lot of fantastic growers out there in not only the Salinas Valley, but elsewhere. Mm-hmm. And there are a lot of recognized vegetables on the market. And to make an inroad, it was not only exciting and doing something different, but you get attention with something new and different. And as a small person, I figured this is a way to get our products known, to be different, to be out and market them. On the front side is a little more work, but at the end, the gratification of introducing, a really great vegetable on the market is a lot of fun. So how is that going to come about? Mm-hmm. Well, on the same trip, I ended up talking with a good friend of mine in Sweden, and at that time he was the sales director for a large Swedish chain store. And it was during the springtime, and he invited me to his house to have a barbecue in his backyard. And the definition of barbecue then was what we call crawdads or crayfish. He was steaming them in a pot and drinking aquavit, which is a firebrand.
Yes. I've had experience.
with aquavit. And, the first sip was going to bite you, but after that it tasted pretty good. But anyway, I got, I think, inquisitive and looking around his yard, and he was watching the crayfish, and I went over and started looking at his garden. And he had an immense garden, mainly because of his horticultural background. So it was not only vegetables, but also flowers, and it just was immense for the size of yard that one would have in that part of Stockholm. And once something caught my eye, and I asked him, "What is this?" And he said, "Actually, I just got some seed in from a grower from another country, and I only can give you a number as far as the name for it." And I said, "Well, can I take a few of those seeds back with me? I want to research them." And he said, "Sure." And so that's what I did. And to make a long story short, we liked what we saw, we meaning the people that really are the experts in growing and producing seed. And what we did, we recognized, of course, that it was a cruciferum, and we crossed that with other cruciferas. And so people say, "Well, what are they?" And I say, "Well, wait a minute, that's priority."
That's a big word.
Yeah, and I have a hard time pronouncing it. But I said, that's proprietary. I mean, it's a great tasting vegetable. But I give them a hint. I say, if you like broccoli, cauliflower, and cabbage, you're going to love what we named Salad Savoy. And so we went out and got it on the market, and people were really interested in it and wanting to try it. And then came the educational process that still is going on to this day. And so we have a number of people out there helping us and educating the end user on all the values to color, taste, and nutrition. And I would really have to say that Salad Savoy, of course I'm prejudiced because we developed it. We, I'm saying the seed producers and myself, and under the banner of Salad Savoy, which we eventually named our company after the mother vegetable. And there are a couple of things that I wish to show while we're here, is the simplicity of this product. I think number one is when you look at all of these vegetables, the important thing, and you as a chef would recognize it, don't overcook it, don't boil it, don't cook out the vitamins. All these vegetables here, it's a plethora of different vitamins. And I could start listing them off, but when you do that, then it kind of confuses. The simple message is we're loaded with vegetables, with vitamins with the vegetables that we have. Especially if they have color, you're ahead, you're way ahead in the vitamin category. So it's important to maintain that color, and with that you're going to get normally a higher percentage of vitamins. Another thing I must warn the viewer, that you read on the bag, something has X amount of vitamins. Well, I'd say that's more of a guideline, because there's so many variances that causes changes in the actual vitamins of the vegetable they're buying. How old is the vegetable? How much stress has it been underneath? Items like that will expire. The vegetable itself, of course, and the vitamins. So just because it says on the bag it's got X amount of vitamin A and X amount of vitamin C, the trend is, they have those those vitamins.
Yes.
But, don't read everything to the letter here. Because they will, in a manner,
give it a little latitude on each side.
Exactly. Because people, they think it's at face value, excuse me, and it might be if when they did the testing on the vegetable. Now the government, excuse me, the government controls the testing of what's put on the bag, and it's done by the government, so it gives it some sort of solidity as to what it is. But it's still different. When you get into specialty items, they're not into that, taking the time or the money to finite what they are. So that's up to us, and we do the very best we can. But we always say approximately so much vitamin C and vitamin A. But before you can look at the vitamin content and the taste content, it's the color. That's the attraction that really gains you into the vegetable. And all these vegetables here have that. Quickly, before we get back on the salad Savoy, the bright lights, which we have here. The bright lights are from the beet family, salad Savoy, and multicolored cauliflower, and also our kale sprouts are from the Nebraska family. So if I could at least give you an idea.
Are these the kale sprouts?
Yeah, that's the name of the vegetable. The brand name is Lollipop. There are other brand names of the product that are reflected. And in some cases, people try to call their brand name, which is just a marketing ploy.
Yes.
They call the vegetable by the brand name. So, I mean, it's easy for me to do with salad Savoy because salad Savoy is a leafy vegetable. So with that, it's easy to call it salad Savoy and not be pulling the wool over anybody's eyes. So, but if I can regress back to salad Savoy, because it is one of the things I want to show the viewing public. You say, well, what do I do with this? And first off, the simplicity of decoring the salad Savoy is simply spreading the leaves out.
This was such a great trick for me. I'd never seen.
You come down, and there we go. And I might add the core in its own right, you can shave it. It's delicious.
That's beautiful, though. I'd use that in an arrangement.
Yes,
that looks like
you could really, you could put something in the middle and you'll be set to go. And
but
also,
that's an arrangement.
Yes.
That's like a flower. That is exquisite.
Yes, and the little babies on top.
Oh, that is gorgeous. Even
Mother Nature has a way of making things
the great
look good.
Artist.
Yes,
Yeah,
she's the greatest artist. We have different size leaves that can be attributed for, let's say, okay, I'm going to throw these into a salad, and the other ones I'm going to slice or chop and utilize with pasta. It's important that you don't boil. I'm against boiling all vegetables because you deplete it of the vitamins. But like with salad Savoy, if I mix white and the violet and I boil it in a pot, I'm going to come out with mud. Okay, that's what's going to be the color. And so it's better just for taste, nutrition, and appearance. Stir fry the product lightly. Cook it in a manner that you're not boiling.
I steam sometimes, and then the moment it gets that gorgeous color, I plunge it in ice water to stop it.
That's a great way of doing it. Immersing in ice water, and I'm with you. Strongly advise it. Also, you look at a leaf, you say, okay, well, I'm going to cut this off and throw the stem away. No, chop the stem up because that's where all the sugar is, basically, on this plant. So if you eat, just take a bite out of the stem.
I will.
Okay, and tell me, is that sweet?
Oh, it's wonderful. Wonderful.
Isn't that surprising?
Now I can see a beautiful oriental cut to the.
We might have to
That's not fibbing.
We might have to take a lunch break here.
Yes. Oh my gosh, that is You didn't even need a knife for that. Your wonderful knife. Wow.
And then you can mix the colors together, the white and the violet, and have a whole new color combination in your salad mix, with your lettuce. And the creativity with what's on the plate here, the viewers are looking and say, wow, I can do this with this or that. It's the simplification of the product to work with is enormous. And that's why a lot of new recipes have evolved from vegetables such as these.
And the colors, I know you have one product that's bagged called Steaming Greens that has all of the colors in there. It's exquisite.
Yes, it worked out. It was just kind of a fluke, it was something we did in the field, mixing the Bright Light Swiss chard with the salad Savoy. I said, boy, that looks pretty good. So, and then we went through the commercial process of having the right people to do the packing for us, and that's on the market, and mainly for food service sector. That's where that is going. A lot of our product goes to food service. Another lesson for everybody is new vegetables evolve through the chef. So, my hat's off to Chef Wendy and her cohorts, because they're the ones that get it out on the plate. And especially for people such as myself that would not have a lot of financing, we're doing things ourselves. And to be out there and have chefs promote our product is really important because they have the passion and they want to express what they have to the public with their particular dishes. If you don't mind, I'm going to move right along because I might be on a timeout.
Yes.
So number two on the where I developed salad Savoy with crossing, and people say, how did you do that so quickly? I said, well, it's open pollination, so I won't get into it as far as hybrids. This is not a hybrid product. This is open pollinated, and the bees do all the work. So
what would we do without them?
Well, that's right. And I was blessed to have it happen so quickly. The multicolored chard we call Bright Lights. This product was developed in New Zealand. We saw it come on the seed market through Johnny Select Seed. No relation. I wish I was related to that Johnny, but I'm not. And a great operation. And so we said, hey, we want to really put this on the market. Would you help and guide us and keep us ahead of the learning curve on new varietals or stronger varieties of the seed as it progresses? That's what they do. There are 5 different colors.
So beautiful.
In this product, and something that people moving on to something that is important is people say, well, wait a minute, what do I do? I mean, they'll cut off the stems and throw them away, and then they chop this up and use it, stir frying, like I said, with a bed of rice, and it's delicious. This leaf, if we eat it, and especially the stem, if we eat it right now, it tastes like soil, okay? It's not a bad taste. But you're saying, boy, I think I got some of the soil out of the garden in this. So what you do is you apply the heat, you take the stems, put it, let's say, in a wok, get it heat. You don't have to overcook it, just make it hot. And then it'll convert, that taste, it'll convert to sugar. And so then you do it after you've done that, and it's sugar sweet. So there's the key of making
heat again, yes.
And then the rest of the product, just cutting it and serving it however you want to. When you do cook it, just don't overcook it. These vegetables are too delicious to be overcooked. Quickly on the multicolored cauliflower, what we did with multicolored cauliflower, Salad Savoy Corporation, is we decided they're out there, but let's combine them together. and it takes a lot more effort to get these crops to come off in a manner to where you can harvest these colors at the same time. And we were able to accomplish that, and we make a European pack, which is a 6 count for the retailer and for food service. So when the housewife goes in, she says, how do they get all these colors together? And it's that we give it to the retailer in a manner that is a mixed pack. Other people, grower packer shippers that have multicolored cauliflower, they still use a 12 count pack. We feel that a smaller pack presents a product better to the initial buyer, and that is a chain store or the food service operator. Last but not least, on the table here is the newest one. We put this on the market. This product was developed through an organization in England, and it is a combination of Brussels sprouts and red kale. So it grows like a Brussels sprout, a main stalk, and it puts out these shoots, and you go out and you pick the shoots. So it's labor intensive, but it is a kick. And again, it's delicious. You got very young leaves here and a small core, and it's a presentation is stunning on the plate, as a side dish on the main protein on the main plate. And you don't need many of these. When they cook down, you don't overcook them, so they still have a little life to them. And you just don't really need that many to give you a little bite of that nutrition and color. And it's fun to work with. The market is just evolving, just coming in. There are people that have been out trying it, then they back away. We started it, and we still have it, and I'm not planning on giving up on it. So as far as making it a larger product on the market.
Oh, thank you so much for sharing your gorgeous family. This is your family, and oh, John, thank you. The food, I can't tell you how wonderful it is, cooked or even just for display.
Well,
who needs flower arrangement when you have this on the table?
Yes.
Thank you.
I want to thank you, Wendy. Thank you for having me here. And my wife thanks you. She and I have been partners for 50 years, okay? So everything that you're looking at, she definitely has been with me, not behind me, but with me in making it happen.
Perfect. Thank you so much.
Thank you.